Hi everyone, I'm Erica from Bravo Migration, and here at our firm, we help individuals applying for visas to stay in Australia, but we also help Australian employers of all sizes when it comes to preparing and taking care of their applications when they want to employ international talent, international workers. The reality is that the skills shortage, or as I call it, the skills recession, doesn't seem to be easing. Personally, I've been a migration agent for 20 years and our firm exists for 16 years, and I have never seen the skills shortage get better. In all industries, we help employers of all types and sizes, and there's never enough people to fill all job vacancies. But during these years, we've also seen a lot of employers who make certain mistakes when sponsoring international workers. And those mistakes can be costly because it means that a new application will have to be made, or they can have worse consequences, which can be a visa refusal and the international worker having to go back to their home country or losing their work rights. So to avoid that sort of problem, it's always advisable to lawyer up, as some people say, and work with a firm like ours to avoid making those mistakes. But today I'm here to let you know what are the 3 most common and most serious mistakes we see out there that employers make when they're sponsoring workers and when they haven't sought legal advice or they haven't partnered with a firm like ours to take care of their cases. First mistake is to mess up when choosing the ANSCO codes for the sponsored worker. So I'll translate that to you. The ANSCO code is central to any employer nominated or sponsored visa. It's where the Department of Immigration go check the definition and the description of duties for each occupation you can think about. So the department, when they receive an application from you and you're nominating dentist to work at your dental clinic, they will check if the job description that you're proposing for the role of dentist in your firm will match the description, the duties of what a dentist is supposed to do within the ANSCO code. Now, I'm using an example on purpose where a dentist is a dentist. There's not much room to make a mistake there. But that's not the case always. And a lot of occupations are either on the borderline with a different one, or sometimes you don't find something that matches exactly what your worker is going to be doing in your business. So there's a lot of room with a lot of occupations for error. So this is one of the first mistakes we see. On the flip side of this problem, we see sometimes employers contact us and say, well, I wanted to sponsor this guy, but he doesn't qualify because the role doesn't match any ANSCO codes. That's when, again, seeking legal advice will make all the difference, because in most cases, we will find something that can be connected in the ANSCO code with what your employee is going to do. So we see that happening a lot, and it's concerning. But if you're working with a legal professional, then you should be right. The second problem we see, the second mistake I see lots of employers making is to do with labor market testing. Some employers, don't know that they need to do what is called labor market testing, and the ones who do know about it sometimes make mistakes, and in a lot of cases it's too late when they come to us, because then the international workers' current visa is about to expire and we won't have time to take care of that problem. Now, labor market testing requires you to post 2 job ads for 28 days minimum, and there's so many requirements around it. And depending on where you post that job ads, sometimes they expire and you don't know. So then you have to post it again, and then you don't have the 28 days continuously. And you may believe that whatever ad you posted will meet the Department of Immigration requirements when it won't. So you have to be very careful there. Another very common situation I see is when we are talking to potential employers who are planning on sponsoring someone. We offer an initial preliminary assessment of the situation for employers and employees alike. And when we mention labor market testing, the employer says, yes, I have been trying to find someone for months, so I have lots of ads, job ads that I've posted we can use. In the majority of cases, in our experience, those ads will have one or two things that don't meet the requirements of the labor market testing as per the Department of Home Affairs requirements. So again, time is everything. Don't leave everything for the last minute, because it could be too late for your labor market testing period of time. We'll find a solution for you, but you really need to talk to one of our agents. And the third mistake that we see a lot as well is when a lot of employers know about TSMIT, which is the minimum salary package required for a sponsored worker to be sponsored in Australia. But a lot of and at the moment it's $73,150 a year plus super. But a lot of employers don't know about the Australian market salary rate requirement. What your sponsored worker needs to be offered so the sponsorship visa and nomination can be approved is a salary package that meets the TSMIT, the minimum that I just mentioned, or the market salary rate, whichever is higher. Now, this is a bit of a tricky requirement, because if the market salary rate for that role is below TSMIT, below the minimum salary, chances are the nomination application will be refused. So you have to be really careful and really consult with someone before you decide to go ahead with sponsoring your employee, to really understand if the salary package you're offering meets requirements, but also what the market rate is for the role. Now, how do we look at the market rate? We may have a conversation with you where we're going to look at your organizational structure and who else, if anyone, is working in the same role. And that could determine what the market rate is. But if you don't have anyone who is Australian, a permanent resident or a citizen working in the same position and in the same location, we need to do external market salary research to come back to you and say, look, in this situation, the market rate for this role you have for this international worker is X. And then we will advise you if that salary is viable and it would result in an approval. And obviously, if it's within your budget with relation to that employee. So these are the three most common mistakes I see out there. And it's just a couple of examples in terms of things that look simple, but could really affect the success of the application. And the problem with having a refusal is that if your employee's current visa expires during the processing of your and their application, they'll be here on a bridging visa, and depending on the refusal and when it happens, you really could be limiting your employees' options, and they probably will have to lodge an appeal with the tribunal, the AAT, and that could take 2 or 3 years to hear from them. That limits what they can do in terms of traveling, sometimes working, depending on their work rights. So it really could complicate things for your employee and therefore for you. So it literally costs nothing to contact us and book that discovery call when we'll talk to you and look at your business, look at the position being offered, and at your employee or future employees' attributes, and see if every box is ticked. It's a preliminary assessment, a discovery call, and we would be happy to give you some assurance, especially at the start, and help you avoid these common and avoidable mistakes. Thank you for watching, and speak to you soon.